Good morning, students. We are going to see about communication, the second part, which is syllabus covers ICAI EDU Flash Chartered Accountant. The second part we are going to see. Here in this, we already saw the broad categories of communication. It is divided into verbal, non-verbal, and visual. And then it is also have formal and non-formal communication. For verbal communication, it involves the words used in the language which deliver the message. For verbal communication, it refers to the communication of spoken mode. And here the categories are different types of communication are oral and written form. For written communication, we are writing the documents or letters, or we are sending the email, reports, and we are preparing handbooks, brochures, and various chat platforms. And SMS also comes in the written communication. This written communication helps to communicate in a formal mode, and for legal instructions and documentations also this written communication is important. And for oral communication, it refers to the communication in a spoken mode. It most probably comes under face-to-face communication, telephonic communication, voice chat, video conferencing, and any other medium is also comes under this. Here most probably lectures, seminars, and meetings and informal conversations also comes under this oral communication. Sometimes the informal conversation like chit chat, gossip, and all the things would be coming there in this form. And next thing is, we should, while we are communicating, we should be not too high or too low in the volume, or not should be too fast or too slow in the form of communication. We should have some kind of body language also at the time of non-verbal communication. So this verbal communication is the easiest and fastest mode of communication, but many researchers prove that only 7% of human beings are communicating in a verbal mode. Why? Because of they having the fear there in communication. Many people never prefer verbal communication. Here in non-verbal communication, this process of communicating is sent by the sender, and receiver sometimes the word there is they are not having the wordless message. Sometimes while we are calling someone, whether they are nodding the head when they are coming to the place, or they are just simply said no to the place, they are not coming back. These kind of communication is also possible. And physical non-verbal communication, here for physical non-verbal communication, individual's body language is more important. By seeing the facial expression, stance, gestures, and tone of voice, touch, all the things would be gives the signals for us what they feel about our communication. And sometimes physical and non-verbal communications counts 55% of all communication. Most probably many people never have communication in verbal form. They have physical non-verbal communication. It covers 50% of communication. And next one is para language. Here for para language, we are having the actual words and which reveals the meaning. Why? Because we are speaking, our quality of speech, our intonation, stress, speech, stress, emotion, and all are representing by the tune. While we are saying about someone, he is a good boy, it represents really he is a good boy. But once we are saying he is a good boy, it represents he is not. So by the tone itself, it represents whether what kind of percentage we are making. This para language use 38% of our communication. And next communication is aesthetic communication. While we are having the aesthetic communication, we are using dancing, painting, sculpture. It all proves our communication. Once we want to prove the peace, we are showing the picture of a dove, or we are showing the picture of Mother Teresa. Automatically we are getting the idea we are going to have a peace. So by having the aesthetic sense itself, it induces our communication. And next one is appearance. Well dressed, well groomed, it proves the methodological form of our that is a communication. Once we are going for an interview, Most probably we are just expecting the person is to be in a formal mode by having the proper dress code. While we are going to some interview, we should have a very light colored dress, and we should never wear t-shirts or jeans, and we should be more careful about our dress code once we are attending the meeting. So these are all things would be covered there in the that is formal communication. And next one is sometimes symbols. Why? Because we are showing the symbols like religious, status, or eco-building symbols. All are representing some kind of communication. And next one, visual communication. For visual communication, we are giving the visual aids as science, photography, drawing, graphic design, and sometimes illustration and color also giving the visual aids of us. So once you want to, at the time of corona, daily we are seeing the graphic representation, how many people are affected in different areas, what is the state, how many people is overall affected throughout the world. Everything is shown in the graphic representation. By seeing that, automatically our mind would know, okay, this much of people are affected, this much of people are cured, and this much of measures are taken by the government. So automatically this audio visual communication is also possible by the means of this print and press media. And next one is this formal and informal communication. Here for formal and informal communication, this effective formal communication is having the great strata, and then history of information which is coming from the company while they are attaining the success. Here for formal communication, we are having that is the formal communication is written both oral and then the written format. Once we are having the rules, we should be more careful about our communication. The information and message is to be comes in the hierarchy format. And then while we are saying about the communication in a company, we have to see what format, style and language you are using for the passing the diagonal information. Now we are going for communication. The communication may be sometimes vertical, horizontal and diagonal. The information, once we are having the vertical, the flow from upwards to the downwards. For vertical communication, the flow is from upward to the downward. The information may be come from the passed down to the management, to the senior level officers. So the decision making, review, all the things comes from the top level officers to the lower level officer. So it will be comes under the vertical communication. And for horizontal communication, the communication occurs from the same level. That is while we are having the meeting, the manager is giving the project to the company members, and they are discussing about the project on daily, weekly and monthly meetings, and it is to be the same level of people is having the horizontal communication. And for diagonal, cross functional communication, it is the employees from different level, that is from different hierarchy, that is we are having the communication from the top level officer to the lower level officers. So it would be comes under the cross functional communication. The example for this is a junior engineer is reports directly to the general manager regarding the progress of the report. This would be comes under the there is a horizontal diagonal communication. Thus communication is comes under three levels. One is vertical, horizontal and diagonal. For vertical communication, the managers and senior level officers are that is communicating to the subordinates. It comes under vertical communication. Horizontal is the same level of people are communicating, and then they have the meeting and monthly progress report about the project is comes under the horizontal communication. And diagonal communication is cross functional communication. That is a junior engineer may talk to the senior manager of the company. So these are all comes under three level of communication. And next one is we are having informal communication. This informal communication may comes under the that is in our home, and we are talking with the friends and family, neighbors, all we are using the informal communication, and sometimes we are talking with our colleague of the same age group of us. We are having a spontaneous conversation, and it will be comes in the there is unofficial manner, so it will be sometimes informal. And then sometimes the employees in an organization are gossiping, and sometimes some departments and varieties of people, they are going outside and they have the informal conversation. So this and all comes under the informal conversation. And one more thing is for a network in communication. It is a very important thing. What is the network in communication? We will see in the next class. Okay, friends, I hope you understand this concept. If you have any doubt, please pass me the comment. In the next session, I will try to cope up with what you're having the doubts and all. I'll clear the doubts in the next class. Thank you guys. Bye. Take care.